Quite a number of conditions don't have a quick explanation as to why they happen until either you know their trail, you know their history or their pattern, or at least until you get to be told exactly what it is from a professional, and in this case, from a doctor. Now, one of those cases that really would be unfair if we just quickly concluded what they are, because really more than just one reason actually makes them happen, and that I would like to be talking about today, is shortness of breath. Hello everybody, and welcome to Naomi's All-Inclusive World, where today I'll be looking at shortness of breath, just what exactly it is and how diverse it is in the sense of what causes it and what really doesn't, and what we need to know. Should we be experiencing this, or should we be in the presence of someone experiencing this? Now, a very big thank you to Amor.
Hi guys, my name is Maureen. I work at Amor. We have two branches. One is in Kilimani and the other one is Nyayo Estate Embakasi Gate D. When you come at Amor, it's not about selling for us. We offer the best customer service with a memorable experience. We do men clothing, that is shirts, jeans, khakis, shoes, sneakers. For ladies, we do office dresses, we do dinner dresses, we do heels. We also have flat shoes. For kids, we do dresses for girls, we do shirts for boys, trousers, any kids outfit you can want. You can get us on Facebook at Amor, on Instagram at Amor_KE.
Now, back to what I just said. Shortness of breath, first of all, is that condition where you kinda are not breathing normally like you should. And the causes aren't really, not all situations are caused or as a result of an underlying disease. Some could be, but not all. Now, examples of situations that can make me or can make one experience shortness of breath will be things like, for example, exercise. Depending with how heavy or light an exercise is that you're doing, you might realize that you're actually experiencing shortness of breath. You know, altitude, if you change altitude so that you are on a flat surface, but then you've gone up high, say on a crater, on a hill, on a mountain, and so on, just that change of altitude can actually cause someone to experience shortness of breath. You know, tight clothing, apparently. It's interesting that we're actually doing this short from a clothing store. Yeah, but actually tight clothings, or just wrong sizes of clothing, and especially tight ones, can actually make someone experience shortness of breath. And also just apparently also just a condition that someone probably has, like asthma. You know, so someone when the asthmatic attack is almost coming, or is almost getting the person who has it, they might also experience some shortness of breath. And also, actually, some people also experience some shortness of breath when they are in confined spaces. For those people who actually are claustrophobic, or people who fear being in confined spaces or small spaces. So you realize, if, for example, say, I don't like being in a very small space. Small space here could be something like, just a crowded place, like a lift, an elevator, something like that, a squeezed place. You realize that some people feel, they get that panic, and they can actually experience shortness of breath. Now, it's important for you as a person to learn what triggers your case, in case you usually experience shortness of breath, for you to learn what triggers it, so that one, you can avoid such areas, and if you really can't, you can kind of psychologically be prepared, so that then it's not like getting you by surprise. Something like, for example, let's say if you are the type who really feels like not okay when you get into an elevator, check to see if you can actually walk on the stairs, if at least if it's not like 10 floors up, and then if it's an item you're going to look for something, then ask, where is the alternative for this, if I really don't want to go to that particular shop or house that is up high and I need to use a lift, so that you avoid that. And number two, also just prepare yourself. I mean, like lifts are not dangerous, they don't bite. So also just prepare yourself, know that that's where you are going to be. It kind of helps you relax and know that that's the space you're going to be in, and therefore it kind of reduces that panic situation. Okay. Another thing I need to mention is, let's not be quick to conclude or rather label people already with what we think could be the reason as to why they experience shortness of breath. We've had cases whereby, for example, like someone will be quick to go like, that person experiences, shortness of breath because they are too big, they are persons of size or something like that. We have people who actually might be huge in your eyes, but they don't necessarily have to experience shortness of breath. So just the fact that I'm big, I'm fat, I'm huge, it does not mean that every huge person experiences shortness of breath. So that if you came across one person who happened to be huge in your definition, that actually had this case, had this problem, it doesn't mean every huge person then experiences that. Or just because, say, for example, you have a child or a neighbor or a friend who actually suffers from asthma, and a lot of times they actually experience shortness of breath. So don't think every time you will meet any person who actually experiences this, don't conclude that they all have asthma. It is very case by case. And then also another thing is just not all cases can be medically fixed. Just like I have said, actually, just because, say, your child or your neighbor's child has asthma, so every time they experience that, like they're rushed to hospital or they're given an inhaler. Don't be quick to verbalize that to any person you will meet, and you go like, "Oh, you're breathing funny. Don't you have an inhaler? Or something like that." No, it is really case by case, and sometimes it's what we might say out of ignorance or out of generalizing every person that might end up being hurtful. So let's remember that shortness of breath is something that is caused by so many things. Just among them, someone suffering from asthma, someone who is going up, changing into the altitude, someone who has phobia, someone who is claustrophobic, someone who is recovering from, something, and so on. So it is a variety of things. I thought I needed to mention that, so that, again, like I keep saying, we continue walking in information. And one of the ways that will help us continue walking in the right information is when we will stop assuming and just generalizing things. So asante sana, like I said in my introduction, asante sana to Amor, and to you who actually is my first time viewer, and to you who is a returning viewer, and thank you so much. Keep walking this journey with us, because this is how we get to replace myths and misconceptions with the right information. Asante.